Hi, Julie. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, and oracle card advisor. Thank you for trusting me with your loved one. So I just want to explain real quick. Not sure if you've watched any of my videos. I see, hear, feel, sense, know. I get to sometimes taste and smell, but not too much. Sometimes I get images that they'll show me, and it's like, I call it spiritual charades. Got to figure out why they're showing me that. They never waste a message. They never waste their energy. If you don't understand something now, write it down. Keep it in mind. You will. You'll remember it tomorrow, or it'll pop up next week or something. So there's always a reason for whatever they show. And oh, names. Names. I don't usually get names exactly. Don't know why, but you might have to think outside the box a little bit. It might be just a male name that starts with a T that they're referring to. So if I say Tom, it may not be Tom, it may be a male with a T. So, okay, let's see. And I'm just going to, any thought, any word they throw out, I'm just going to throw it out there because it's not for me to understand what they're saying. It's for you to understand. So hopefully they'll explain it well enough so you know what they're talking about. The first thing I heard was peaches and cream. Peaches and cream. They don't always tell me why they throw these words out there. Hopefully it'll mean something to you. He's showing himself sitting at a desk. He's very intently writing. He has a lot of papers around him. And I see the word will, W-I-L-L. But he also, well, let's stay here for a second. He's very intent on it, and he kind of doesn't, it's kind of like he looks up like, I don't want anybody watching, this is my thing. I'll do it the way I want. But he seems to be comfortable at it. He's a little bit tense doing this right now. Not sure he got it finished. But he seems to be comfortable sitting at a desk with papers, like, even if it was just writing out bills. And he's making a point of showing this desk, and it has like little cubby holes. Almost looks like I can't see the roll top, but it kind of looks like a roll top desk, when you roll it up and it has all the little cubby holes to put, like envelopes and things in. And there's a woman standing there with him. She's nicely dressed. Her hair is very well done. I hate to say similar to mine. It is and it isn't. Very nicely dressed. And she's standing there with her arm on his shoulder. But I'm feeling like maybe there was some tension between them. And he's really not wanting anybody to see what he's writing. Now he's gone to a reclining chair. He's got a robe on. I see a whiff of smoke, so even if it wasn't him, somebody close to him smoked. But I almost feel like it was a pipe or a cigar or something, not a cigarette. And he's sitting there, the table's on his right, and he's leaning over and he's writing again. He's leaning over at this table, but he's making a big point of showing these slippers on his feet. So somebody gave him these slippers, and they're soft and warm and fuzzy. He says not exactly what he would have picked out, but he likes them. They're comfy. He's still, hang on, he's wanting to show me something here with this writing. I see the word law, L-A-W. This is a strange word, herald, but not the name Harold. Herald, like hark the herald angels sing, H-E-R-A-L-D. He doesn't explain that one. I hated charades as a kid. Now look at me. Now he's still sitting there in his recliner with his robe. He's got his glasses on top of his head, you know, like laying up here, took them off, had them up here, and he's got a bowl of something in his hand that it could be popcorn. He's eating like one piece at a time. And now the phone rings. Never had that happen before. Phone has a cord on it. It's definitely a landline. Doesn't look like a real up-to-date phone. It's not even a cordless house phone. Not crazy about some of that new fandangled stuff. It's like he's in this chair and he's all dressed comfy and relaxed, but he's still doing 10 different things at once. Always going, always involved in something. Got to get the job done, he says. Now, for a minute I thought he was writing with his left hand, but now he's using his right hand. And now he's making a list. He's making a list of things he needs to do, people he needs to talk to, things he needs to do. Busy, 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 busy. So he must have had a problem in the chest area or heart area, because it's like all this stuff, and then he went like this. He called you like Julie Bug. June Bug, Julie Bug. Now he's showing me a carnival and a Ferris wheel. He said we had a good time. I had a good time. I may not have acted like it, but I had a good time. I enjoyed making sure that we had enough money that everybody else could afford to go and have a good time. And he starts singing the Doris Day song, Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. He said he didn't plan for things to be this way. And then he looks kind of sad, kind of like he wants to put his head in his hands. He said, I'm sorry I didn't provide better. That was too important to me. And I didn't take enough time for everybody else. Don't do that, because this stuff isn't important. The heartfelt is important. Now he's back to the recliner, but he's pulling a blanket up over himself, and he's actually turning sideways in the recliner. He's got it stretched back, and he's laying down with the blanket. And I'm not absolutely sure if he's just showing me that he's going to go to sleep there, or if he was just that comfy when he passed. Oh gosh, then he jumped up. He goes, "But look at me now! Look at me now!" He's got all excited. He says, "You ought to see all the cool stuff I can do now. Would have never dreamed of. Didn't know you could do this crap." Now he's talking about a jitterbug. No, not going to explain that one either. He wishes he had taken more vacations. He says, time lost, time lost, time lost. Tell her I'm sorry. Time lost. But I hope you know by the things that I did how deeply I loved you. And I still do. Now he mentions Charlie Horse. I think he's referring to a nickname, so you might have to think outside the box a little bit, but he said the horse behind it, so I'm guessing it's pretty close to Charlie Horse. He's moving behind me. He's moving slowly. He's over here. He's actually over here. Nobody's ever done this before. I have a bunch of decks of Oracle cards over here, and he's actually kind of looking at them. He says he never thought you could do this kind of stuff. He says it's amazing what you find out once you get to the other side. he goes, and it's amazing what you can see. I can hear you. Talk to me. And when you need those doors opened for financial advice, talk to me. Well, then he kind of scurries. He kind of got excited and he kind of scurried around, and then he showed me ducks. And the ducks, he was making all the ducks get in a row. When you seriously need advice on financial stuff, he will help you get your ducks in a row. Asking. They cannot override your free will choice. They can bring you the wealthiest, most gorgeous man in the world, and you can choose the trash man. They can't stop that. They can bring you these things. They can open doors for you. They can bring people into your life, to be like mentors or help guide you towards the way that you need to go, or towards the right banker, he says, or different things like that. But you have to ask them. If your Uncle Joe was the worst man in the world with money, don't ask him. Ask your dad. Ask him to help. And he can get with your guides and things like that and help direct things. He says, you got a question, call old dad. He's quite the businessman. He's liking my cards. I've never seen one go over there and even pay any attention to him. He's kind of hovering his hand over him like, all of this? Yeah, I've got more too. He says he thinks it's pretty cool that I can put him in communication with you. That he likes that. I get a chance to really tell her how much I love her. I get a chance to really tell her that I can still help her and guide her. See if I can get him to show me if he sends you any signs. Okay, does somebody have, he's making a point of showing me an ink pen. Does somebody have a special ink pen? Maybe one that he had, maybe kind of an expensive one, or a special one that he always used, or something. Showing me an ink pen and a candle. Right over here. He's showing me a TV. I'm trying to see why he's showing me a TV. There's cartoons on the TV. And there's a little one, I believe it looks like a boy. Young. A year or two old, I think it ages just roughly in that area. Sitting on a little scooter in the living room. And he's interacting with this little boy. So whoever has this little boy, children don't know yet. They haven't been told yet that their imaginary friend is not real. So children sea spirit. Children talk to them. They interact with them, and it's like, and it's no big deal until the adults start going, don't talk about your imaginary friend, they're not real. Well, they are. They are real. So this little boy knows that he's there. He knows that he's looking out for him, and they're watching cartoons together. I see a name that starts with SH. SSH. Oh, he's just kind of enjoying sitting there watching the little boy. Okay. Okay, now he's showing me a light switch, but it's like just the plain old light switch, you know, toggle switch. He's going like this, on off, on off. So you're going to have a light somewhere in your house that's going to blink. And it's not going to blink just once because he's doing this over and over and over. So it may not be, the light may not blink over and over and over, but it's going to blink more than once, just more than just a little blip. Or it's going to do it several different times. So more than likely it will not be a lamp. It'll be something that would be operated by a wall switch. He says, I don't really mess with all that foo-foo stuff, but I'm going to let you know I'm there. And now he's showing me papers on a desk again. And he's swirling them around. So somebody's going to see their papers move. You're possibly going to lose one of them, or possibly one on top is going to end up on the bottom, or they're going to get shuffled. They're going to get shuffled around in some way. They like to find things that are really lightweight because it's easier for their energy to move them. Yeah. This is a little dim, but I think he's showing me a rabbit, like a pet rabbit. And it looks kind of black and white, but I don't know why it's fuzzy. It mentions Hoppity. Trying to there's more animals there, but I don't know why he's not bringing them. He needs to bring them closer. I need to bring them closer. I'm having trouble seeing them. I'm getting that smoke again. Coffee. Okay, he's showing me a bedroom. Why? Yeah, everything's a little fuzzy. It needs to come closer. It's making a point of showing what looks like a homemade quilt type bedspread and a wooden bed with a headboard that's kind of got a shelf type thing across the top of it. It's dark wood, like stained, kind of like stained rustic Not saying why he's showing this. So if you know somebody's got a bedroom like that, he's popping in and out. He says he doesn't want to do anything to scare anybody. But he wants you to know he's there to protect and to help guide. He's mentioning Ralph, Ralphie, Ralph. Don't forget, you don't always get names exact, so it might be a male with an R or an RA name. He's acknowledging. And a Wilma. Same thing with the women's names. Female with a WWI name. He's acknowledging these people. He said Grandma and Grandpa were there when he crossed. And he's showing one on one side and one on the other, and they have their arms crooked, if you want to call it hooked, crooked together, as they were walking where he needs to go. He says, "Save the last dance for me." Is there a somebody's wedding coming up real quickly? Save the last dance for me. And then something about brotherly love. Oh, he's throwing names out, and I'm so bad at names. George Michael. Something close. I think they've been working on me lately, I don't know why the names don't come across exact, because they used to. Savor the moment. Now, I don't know what she's doing. Now he's showing a little girl, 3 to 5 roughly, dark hair, looks like pigtails. She's got like goggles on. She's looking down at the ground, and she's got goggles on, kind of like the big swimming mask goggles. Cute little skirt on. Looks like it's dark red. Cute little white socks. And then she's got something in her hand. I want to say a leaf blower, but a leaf blower is way bigger than what she would be. So I can't tell, but she needs these goggles for whatever it is she's doing. Can't quite tell what's in her hand. Then I see a golf club. Well, he's just giving me lots of kind of one-word things. She wanted you to take good care of him. He seems like a very strong, very businesslike man that was kind and gentle, but he kind of kept all that inside. But there was also a sadness in there that he tried to hide from everybody that kind of made him stay kind of closed up a little bit. Now I heard him. This is a thought from his childhood when he was little. Don't speak. You might get told you're stupid. That's something that happened to him when he was a child. I let Spirit pretty much run the reading. They know better than I do what needs to be shown, what needs to be said, what needs to come across. Now he's holding a balloon and it says happy birthday on it. So somebody either just had or is just getting ready to have a birthday. And he's acknowledging that. And with that, he's walking away with the balloon. He's going to be there. Trust that. See you later. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, and oracle card advisor. Let me know if it all makes sense to you, if you got some validations. And pay it forward.